What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So I have a video by Manosphere Highlights Daily. And yeah, we're talking about Brett Cooper. Tried to give advice to find a traditional woman, but failed. And, the truth of the matter is, for Brett, those Leave It to Beaver days, the Ozzy and Harriet, those days are gone. So let's see what she has to say. And I think this is, Graham right here. And yeah, they'll get into it right here. So let's go.
Where would you recommend a guy go to find a traditional woman? And where would you recommend they don't go?
Oh, gosh.
Because I was just at Coachella.
I feel like that's probably not the right place to go.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. You heard the question in the intro clip.
Where would you recommend a guy go to find a traditional woman?
Not here.
And where would you recommend they don't go?
I hate to break it to you before the beat drops, but this question already sets Brett Cooper up for failure. Why?
Why?
Because in modern Western society, traditional women are damn near extinct. And the answers Brett gives, they only prove that point. But let's take a step back real quick. Why is Brett Cooper being asked this question in the first place? Well, for those of you who don't know, Brett Cooper is a conservative commentator that used to host the comment section, backed by the Daily Wire. She's young, polished, articulate, and often positioned as a trad wife adjacent figure, a woman who supposedly values old school roles while navigating a modern platform. But here's the problem. Just because someone talks about traditional values doesn't mean they live by them. And today, we're going to break down her answer piece by piece and show you exactly why her version of traditional still ends up modern. Let's get into it.
Because I was just at Coachella.
I feel like that's probably not the right place to go.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, did you learn that?
Well, I didn't really talk to any women.
You didn't talk to anybody?
I mean,
you did.
No,
Who did you talk to?
not my friend was talking to a girl.
Yeah.
And she had a friend, so I kind of tried to keep the environment in a good situation.
Excellent.
Yeah, she was actually pretty cool,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like walking around, it was not the ideal situation to probably find a traditional woman.
No, for sure. It's like going to a location where you know that values are in practice, basically, and it doesn't need to be like, I'm going to go to this church that is exactly whatever, because people have all these different opinions about like whether church is a great place to meet people or not. But this thread was basically arguing like, if somebody is showing up to, this workout class every single week and you see them there and there's like repetition, or if they're going to this run club or like a tennis group or whatever it is, it's like joining an activity where it's like you're showing like, I care about health and physical exercise. At least you're like sort of moving in the right path, or joining some kind of like organized group where you have like similar values. I think that's probably the easiest way. I also think that like on dating apps, you have to be pretty clear about what you want and who you are. I think that's where the pitfalls of dating apps happen, where it's like men and women both are. Well, I think it's more with men, less with women, because based on the responses that I've seen, like you were saying, of like women responding to guys if they show any shred of not being a like feminist liberal, that basically my point in saying this is that you have to be very clear about what you want, and it kind of sucks sometimes because you'll get responses from women who are like, no, this is terrible, but you're waiting, you don't want to date them anyway. So it's like, if you are upfront about what you want and your intention with
I'm sorry, Brett Cooper. You're trying to find a needle in a haystack where the needle doesn't exist. I say get your passports and get the hell out of the West. That's the advice for men that I would say. And even over around the world, feminism has kind of creeped in around the world. You still have to vet for your women. It's crazy. But in the West, that needle in the haystack, you can't even find the needle. Come on. And of course, if you're going to sit here and, sit there, go, oh, there's women out there in the West. Well, you are just looking for that needle and you can't even find that needle. So, oh, well, let's continue.
dating and your values, it is so much better because you weed out the people who are going to dislike you anyway. And then you will attract the people who hopefully are in line with that, which is harder because that means a little more confrontation and being public about things. But I think that's key. But I do think a huge part of it is being in an environment where you're seeing somebody repeatedly and you're seeing them in a group of friends or in some kind of team related thing. And I wish I had more concrete advice, but I feel like I kind of got out of the dating market pretty quickly.
Did you catch that? Nothing, and I mean nothing,
Nah.
Brett Cooper said actually reflects traditional courtship. Not one word about community involvement, family vetting, or religious values setting the foundation. Nah. Instead, it's modern advice with a conservative filter, like putting a pearl necklace on Tinder and calling it tradition. Let's be real. Back in actual traditional times, you didn't need dating apps. You didn't need to join a values-based organization. Your entire community already had those values built in. Marriage wasn't a solo mission. Mom, dad, church, they were all part of the equation. Your parents knew the other family. Your pastor probably married them. It was structured. It had purpose. Now compare that to Brett's advice. It's modern dating dressed up in a 1950s costume. That's cosplay, not culture. So while her advice might sound reasonable in today's world, it just proves the larger point. We are not living in traditional times. We are not in traditional environments.
And again, those 50s, you know, Ozzy and Harriet, Leave It to Beaver, all that, you know. And, you know, where actually, you know, what is it? Black Americans were actually married more than whites, 80% in the 50s. Yeah, that's all gone out the door today. And that's why we have the passport bro movement, the expat movement. We're just like going other places. And we don't want to bring the chick back to the United States. We just gonna just stay over there in their country, you know? So yeah, pretty much the West is cooked.
And that means the odds of actually finding a traditional woman, microscopic. Let's keep going.
It's
Just
so
helpful.
funny. It made me think like going to a pickleball club or going to a
Yeah.
run club and trying to meet someone.
Yeah.
It's like you're going there though for an ulterior motive.
I know.
And that for me like feels a little weird.
Yeah.
But it made me think, and I still think it's so funny. Like I have friends that swear by certain methods. They're like,
Yeah.
dude, like, this is gonna sound like they all say like go to a gay bar.
Yeah.
Because if you go to a gay bar,
Oh yeah.
then
It's all the
it's
girls,
girls
with
that
their
are
gay
just
best
trying to have
friends.
well, it's girls that are just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
They're not like peacocking at
Yeah.
a normal bar or a non-gay bar.
What
For
the
sure.
hell?
That's what we call them now, non-gay bars.
Yeah.
where you know they're trying to show off to guys or whatever.
Yeah.
But at a gay bar, they're just trying to have fun, sing some
That
karaoke.
actually makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also I don't know.
kinda weird.
I guess going out somewhere with the intention of like
Yeah.
is
And
a
so
little.
I guess my response to that would be like,
Red flag alert.
What?
What
Who?
the
Oh
hell?
my goodness. Now, we got to stop right here. You see, this right here, this is where we hold men accountable too. You say you want a traditional woman? Cool. Then you better start acting like a traditional man. And let me be very clear. A traditional man is not hunting for women in gay bars. Absolutely not. No, sir. I don't care how laid back the vibe is. I don't care if women aren't flexing in there. If you are a straight man, you do not go to gay bars to find women. Period. That's not outside the box. That's just outside your lane. This is not chess. It's checkers.
All right, get some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also I don't know.
It's
I
kinda
guess
weird.
I guess going out somewhere with the intention of like
Yeah.
is
and
a
so
little.
I guess my response to that would be like, I would never join a run club because I hate running. But I would join maybe like there was my first like summer in Nashville. I'm really bad at volleyball, but I had friends that had like a church volleyball like league, but it was like through the city, but their church group they needed an extra person. I was like, yeah, sure. Like I really like it. Like I didn't go for any purpose of meeting somebody and I didn't meet somebody, but it's like you find something that you're actually interested in, because if you don't meet anybody, you still get to gain a skill or do something that you enjoy. Whether it's like a gun club or doesn't have to be pickleball. But find something that will enrich your life regardless of whether you meet somebody or not.
Do you think dating now, just from what you've seen, is harder? Or are people just getting too emotionally weak?
I think it's probably a mix of a lot of those factors. I think dating is objectively harder because the social norms have changed, where it's like, and I always say this too, Gen Z wasn't taught how to date. Like, I don't know what your first experience was like asking a girl out or dating, but I got asked out for the first time. My first few dating experiences were all digital. Snapchat, Instagram DM, joining my sorority at college and being like, why are you not on Hinge? You need to be on like Tinder and Hinge. And then like met my first boyfriend on Hinge. And I was only asked out in person. Alex was like, he's the only one that I remember. And I want to make sure I'm not just saying that because I married him. But no, I had one other guy ask me out in person. Everything else was like text, digital, the art of flirting, of like sending signals, of making like women who like won't freaking make eye contact or smile and like show a guy that they're interested. And then men who obviously it's a scary time to just go up and ask a woman out, especially if she's not giving you signals. And it's already hard to be a guy.
Yeah, especially in today's times. What is it? If you look like a creep, oh, you give me creepy vibes. Or if you're not the 6 foot, or now they want 6'2", 6'3", with these outrageous standards. Chad or Pookie or Ray or Juan or June, she's not 6'3", make 6 figures. So yeah, it's a done deal. Get your passport.
Asking somebody out. But it's like that little like dance of dating. I feel like Gen Z just didn't get.
Well, there you have it. You're asking Brett Cooper a question that she's not even qualified to answer from a truly traditional standpoint. Why?
What?
Because like she just admitted, most of her dating experience was digital. Online, apps, swipes, screens. That's not traditional. That's just modern dating with a side of lipstick and lighting. Meeting your husband through a screen doesn't turn you into a 1950s housewife. And in Brett's case, meeting your husband at work doesn't suddenly turn you into a 1950s housewife either. It's better than swiping right, sure. But let's be honest, that's still a modern outcome in a modern setting. And this is exactly what happens when conservative aesthetics get mistaken for traditional values. Sure, Brett Cooper looks the part. Clean, feminine, wholesome vibe. But her relationship path, still 100% modern.
Yeah.
So, if you're a man genuinely looking for a traditional woman, let me make this crystal clear. You're not going to find her in gay bars, on dating apps, or at some young conservatives mixer in the middle of LA, because the environment is just as modernized as the mindset. You want a traditional woman? You need to take your talents to a traditional environment. That means go overseas. We're talking places where femininity is still honored, family is still sacred, and men are still expected to lead, not apologize for it. Countries where courtship still exists and the culture hasn't been poisoned by hookup culture and social media validation addiction. So don't waste time chasing unicorns in a desert. Board the plane, build your value, lead like a man, and stop looking to people who didn't live tradition to teach you how to find it. To wrap this up, we'll end with Mr. Dev Campbell.
And even in my videos that I've made in the last couple weeks, I've gotten lots of trad cons that comment or message me, give me the same spiel as always. As a man, you're this, and as a man, you shouldn't encourage that behavior. Dude, shut up. Shut up. I am a Christian and I am conservative. Like, that's what I would consider myself. Not a trad con. I'm more of like a new con, some kind of weird hybrid new conservative. I'm not a good Christian. I cuss. I'm vulgar. I'm this and that. That's what it is. Take it or leave it. But all you trad cons that always comment this bullshit on my videos, you need to understand something. You guys are in love with the fantasy of Leave It to Beaver and the Wonder Years, like I've said before. That shit's dead and gone. Leave It to Beaver is not coming back, dude.
No.
Leave It to Beaver isn't coming back. Those women do not exist anymore. And the ones that do exist are fake. They are faking it. They're acting a certain way to get something.
Honestly, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.
Yep. So, it's been highlighted. Shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily. But yeah, we're not going back. And same thing. that needle in the haystack, I don't think the needle even exists. I say get your passports and roll out, to countries where you can get more of a feminine women if they still exist, even overseas. So just, just a thought there. Instead of chasing those women in the West, it's not even worth it no more. All right. So if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe. And I'll see you in my next video.